Hi guys, so today the topic that came through was finding the ideal macronutrient ratio. So for this whole topic, let's quickly have a quick precedence that calories are king in terms of weight gain, weight loss, all things energy balance. So we're not going to talk about that today. Let's pretend it's controlled and variable across the board. So he asked questions of, is a high carb, low fat better than a low carb, high fat approach? And then he also asked about high protein versus lower protein. I'll tackle the last one first. So in studies where energy balance is controlled, the biggest variable you see from there is protein intake and how that affects body composition. Higher protein diets have been shown to have better body composition implications than their low protein counterparts. So I think the first thing you guys should be considering when designing a plan is making sure protein is adequate. And that just doesn't apply for people trying to gain muscle. It most definitely applies to people trying to lose fat and overall just maintain better health. From there, high fat versus low fat / high carb versus low carb. The truth is, with the current research and how it's looking at the moment, doesn't seem to be much of an effect, if any. So if protein and calories are equated, there's minimal. If I had to say there's a slight bias, there's a very slight one bias towards carbs, the high carb approach, but again, it's minimal. I think if you just control calories just a tad low for fats, all things are equated, because you see about a 15% net drop in overall expenditure when you're following a high fat, low carb approach. So if that's already equated for with whole energy balancing, then either one can work fine. So with the whole can work fine, how do you know which one's for you? For starters, it won't matter that much physiologically. What usually matters more is more psychological basis. So if you enjoy butter, if you enjoy avocado, if you enjoy bacon a lot, have a slight bias towards a high fat approach. If you really enjoy, maple syrup, pancakes, pancakes got a bit of fat, but if you enjoy maple syrup, your rices, your potatoes, etc., maybe a slightly higher carb approach will work well. I think what's important to do is make sure, protein and calories are set. And then from there, you've got a few things to just make sure you're doing. Don't go to either extreme. Don't go too extreme. So let's say you've got the calories set and there's a certain amount to distribute between carbs and fat. Make sure you're at least hitting your lower thresholds for each. So just enough carbs to maintain performance if you prefer a high fat approach, just enough fats to, keep your androgens and hormonal health for a lower fat approach. So that should be the first basis. People do find a little bit of preference towards either, often through taste, which I mentioned before, but sometimes you've got people that are fast oxidizers versus low oxidizers or slow oxidizers. So this relates to how quickly people break down food. So the ones that break down food really quickly and oxidize can get the dip and crash. Those people, generally speaking, from what I've found, is enjoy a slightly higher fat approach because of the slower release rate of that. For the slow release of energy people, the slower oxidizers, carbs might feel a little bit better, but again, it's ridiculously slow. That's just something with how you feel. If you feel good, you're probably going to comply. But if you feel good but don't comply, then again, it doesn't matter. So high fat, low fat, doesn't really matter too much. Hit the things, equate the big variables from there. Just find what fits your personality. Find what you can comply with, and that's all that really matters in that topic. All right, thanks guys.